Hi, welcome to Algebarb. I'm Barb. Today we're going to be graphing everybody's favorite periodic trig function, the sine function. So in general, the sine function looks like this, where A, B, C, and D do different things to what the graph looks like. They affect the graph in different ways. So the amplitude, or the distance from midline to highest point, or midline to lowest point, is A. The period, or how long it takes the function to complete one cycle, is 2 pi over b. The phase shift, or the horizontal shift left or right, is negative c over b. And the vertical shift, where the midline is going, is d. So let's look at the basic no-frill sine function. Because the sine, or the y value, remember sine is y, is 0 at 0, pi, and 2 pi, we're going to cross this midline at 0, pi, and 2 pi. And because the y value, or the sine, reaches its maximum at pi over 2, a maximum of 1, and a minimum of negative 1 at 3 pi over 2, I'm going to put a dot at 1 when x is pi over 2, and at negative 1 when x is 3 pi over 2. And then I can connect my dots. And there you go. Here, my amplitude is 1, which means my distance from the midline to the highest point is 1. My period is 2 pi over b, but b is also 1. So my period is 2 pi, which means it's going to complete one cycle after 2 pi. And I have no phase shift or no vertical shift. So this is really basic. So let's look at one where we're actually changing A, B, C, and D, and we'll see what it does to the graph. Okay, in this one, my amplitude is 2, my period is 2 pi over, over a fraction, the F word, 2 pi over 1/2, but when we divide by a fraction, we multiply by its reciprocal. So that's 2 pi times 2, or 4 pi. That means this graph is going to be stretched out. It's going to take longer to complete one cycle. The phase shift is negative c over b, so it's pi over 1/2, or 2 pi, which means it's starting 2 pi to the right, and my vertical shift is up 1 because of this 1. All right, let's do it. The first thing I like to do is mark the movement of my vertical shift. So since it's up 1, my midline is going to go from the x-axis up 1. So I'm calling this 1. And I'm starting 2 pi to the right. So let's call this 2 pi. Now, because my period is 4 pi, and I'm starting at 2 pi, I need the distance from start to end to be 4 pi. So I will add 4 pi to 2 pi to see where I end. That brings me to 6 pi. So let's cut this period in quarters because I need to mark all my quarter marks along the x-axis. So since the period is 4 pi, and I want to divide it in quarters, that means that every interval is pi. So if I'm starting at 2 pi, my next one will be 3 pi, then 4 pi, then 5 pi, and then 6 pi. So I always want to have 1, 2, 3, 4 intervals along my x-axis. Okay, so the sine starts, middle, and ends on the midline. And it reaches its highest point which is 2 units, the amplitude, above the midline. So I will go up 2. I will go up 2 at my first quarter mark and down 2 at my third quarter mark. And then I can connect the dots. And there it is. So this distance, the amplitude is 2 from 1 to 3. The distance from start to end, or my period, is 6 pi minus 2 pi, which is 4 pi. And my vertical shift is up 1. If you want me to do another example, please leave it in the comments. I'll be happy to do it. Hope this was helpful. We're turning negatives into positives. Have a great day.